It's Caleb. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hey, I'm calling about the house on. You got a minute?
Hey, yeah, sure. No problem.
Somebody from my group called you before and picked up an asking price and a little bit of a backstory, and they told me to give you a call because our cash offer would probably make you mad, and I don't do cash offers.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it. I don't know. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. Are you interested in? I can't remember what group you're with or whatever, but
Yeah,
uh,
REI Capital is the name of our group.
yep. Okay.
So and so a little bit about myself. I am a rental property owner. I tend to like buy and hold. I'm okay with Airbnb, long-term hold, as long as the cash flow is good enough. I do a lot of creative financing. I just picked up a deal for zero out of pocket. Not that I'm expecting that to be the case today, in September. And a lot of people end up calling me for to work on their deals where cash just doesn't cut it. So that's who I am. That's what I do. Um, as just a short intro. So,
Yeah.
what have we got going on here, and how can I help?
I've had the house for years and years, and made some updates to it.
Nice.
But the market's come up.
Oh yeah.
Probably below replacement cost, but it's come up a lot. I got three kids going to college, so I'm dumping this one.
Ooh,
And I'm
man.
just probably, I don't know if I'm 1031ing it somewhere else, or I'm just actually going to bite the bullet and pay some of the capital gains tax, because we got one just started college. I got two more going. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I need a little more liquidity the next 2 3 years. So
Yeah.
so I know that it's an unideal situation. I haven't even looked at my lease to see. I wouldn't really want to kick these people out. I probably can kick them out in 60 or 90 days.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, they're great tenants. I'm
Right.
happy to sell it, income, like, subject to the lease to a buyer, but that's a lot of times buyers want a place right away. But in this
No,
case,
I'm okay waiting. I mean,
yeah,
so I already did some preliminary analysis just to kind of give you a heads up, and I think the
mhm.
only way this one works for me is if I can Airbnb it. But I was looking, and it looks like it's in a subdivision that might not allow that.
Huh, yeah, I don't know if that subdivision allows, specifically disallows it or not. It's a great question.
This is
Let me
what was the
pull
name
it
of the
in front of me.
subdivision?
It's called Woodmont Golf and Country Club.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I tried finding their phone number. I tried calling the country club, and everybody's going to voicemail. I was just going to ask and see if there's an HOA contact that I can just ask if that's allowed. Um,
Yeah, there is. Her name's Charm Jones. I remember because I still get the whatever bills from her. She's with, I don't know. Are you in Atlanta or where you at?
no, I'm out of Kansas City. I'm looking at some properties. Actually, looking at a 40 pack in Albany, Georgia, which is quite a ways away. But
Yeah, it's a completely different market. Different
yeah,
part
I've
of
been
the
looking.
Midwest.
I looked at a 3 pack a little bit east of Atlanta, eastern outskirts, but that one didn't work out for me either.
Gotcha. Hey, well, listen, I got a condo. I got a few condos in Florida. I just put one on the market.
Mm,
I don't know if there's more bite size for you, but like, have you ever done anything in Panama City Beach? It's a great Airbnb
okay.
property, and I can give you the address, and I just put it on Zillow here. It might be more up your alley. I know it. Obviously, you can Airbnb those, and I know what the revenue is.
Yeah.
More like a 12%. Like, the two best vacation markets in the country, everybody will tell you, are Pigeon Forge and that Northwest Florida. They rent like 250 to 300 days a year.
Nice.
And
Yeah, it's
your
crazy.
yield, like your gross cap rate's like 12%. So I'm trying to raise money either there or there. I'm agnostic.
Yeah.
I don't have a
Okay. It
mortgage on
makes
that
sense.
one, so I mean, I could maybe, but I need something down.
So you just need some
I think
liquidity here to support
yeah, yeah,
the college stuff.
yeah. Well, I'd like to somehow put 100 grand in my pocket, or 80, and
Okay.
then I can finance the rest, and with a balloon a few years out or something like that. So I'm flexible. But let me give you that address. You
Have
can take a look at that listing.
okay.
16
Yeah.
Panama City Beach, Florida.
Okay. I'll look into that one as well. Um. So if you're just trying to get now, you were talking about 1031 and maybe paying taxes, not paying taxes. You can do a partial 1031. I'm sure you're aware. Have you considered doing a cash out refi. And then, so one of the strategies we use is to, if somebody just needs the cash and they don't want to pay taxes on it yet, like the full balance, and they want to spread it out, is if we will do, let the seller do a cash out refi, and then we take over that loan sub to, then you pulled your cash out without paying taxes on it. And then you can pay any capital gains taxes on at the rate that you're getting paid back for your profits.
Yeah,
So
so
you only,
I guess walk me through. I've never done one of those. I've done other 1031, just the delayed exchange and not the reverse.
yeah.
But
So
walk
this
me through what
would
we're working
not
with
be a
the subject
1031
property.
exchange.
Yeah. But so
Okay.
like back to the house in Georgia, the seven, the
Sure.
whatever. You can see what the rents are, and actually,
Yeah.
that one. So I owe the thing about that one is I owe 330 on it.
Sure.
335. So walk me through how that would work if you and I struck a deal on that one with what you're just saying. Like, go ahead.
Sure. So especially because actually this would be perfect because I don't like mid equity deals. They're really tough for me because if I'm doing like a hybrid, a sub two and a seller finance combo, the payments just stack up too high against me and I can't cash flow it. You know what I mean? So it's really good for me to be really high or really low equity because I can usually cash out either the bank or the seller in one of those cases. So in this case, you would go for a 70% loan to value cash out refi. So what's our value? What's our appraisal sticker price, whatever you want to call it?
On that house, I mean, it's tough. Well, no, it's actually kind of easy to say for me, but you're sitting at a desktop and you're scratching your head. And you don't know. It is that house it should be high sevens.
Okay.
It's the house across the street that's listed was listed too high, so it was a problem. There's something weird about the listing. They're misquoting the square footage, and it's ugly, and it's up a hill, and it looks we're back into a house. So the actual square footage of the house, you can look at the tax records, is like 20% smaller than it's stating. So if you're wondering if that was a comp, but you can look up and down the street and see there. But let's just call it 760. This house, even though it's 10 or 15% bigger than some of its recent comps.
Okay.
And so if we say it's 760,
then 70% of that is 532,000, right? So then subtract. Let's just assume it appraises for 760. Then you should be able to do a cash out refi while interest rates before your interest rates climb too much because they're starting on their way back up. So 532,000 minus what'd you say 335?
Yep.
That leaves you $197,000 that you could pull out. And if the monthly payment on that is going to be something that I can handle and still cash flow, I'm good because I'm a buy and hold investor. And if I can get into a deal for low money down, and then so we're still having to pay you on the amount that you left in there. So we'd have the mortgage plus some payments to you, and we can structure a balloon date so that as we build equity, at some point we're going to refinance it and then cash out your equity that you left stuck in the deal.
Right. So who holds the title to this? I'm sorry, I can't even.
In a sub two transaction, I would take title so I can take depreciation and all the other stuff. You would simply be a second position lender on the deal.
I got you. Yeah. I would be a second position lender. Thank you. Yeah. I was going to clear that up.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So yeah. Well, you got my email address. You can sort of. And what coupon do I get on my? And how much in that scenario there? How much am I in? How much of a loan am I making? 200 grand, 300 grand to you?
Let's see. Hold on. 760,000 times 0.3, 228. So I mean, we can come to the deal with some cash, obviously, but I'm trying to keep cash minimal. And then the other thing is, one of the things I do with my private lenders is, I will say, for the smaller amounts, even up to like 150,000, I'll say you can have your money back. Just give me 90 days heads up so I can replace you as a lender, right? So I want a minimum of 6 months, maybe a minimum of 12 months, depends on the deal. And then if you want your money out, just give me 90 days to swap you out as a lender. And it shouldn't take 90 days, but if you let me know, like, hey, my daughter's wedding is coming up and I got to pay for it, I need my money back, then I'll do it.
Yeah,
right. So
I could probably give you more time, but all right. Well, then go ahead and structure an offer up on that. Like, do you have somebody before you actually pull the trigger on the house that you can send in the local market to take a look through the house,
Yeah, I got
and
tons of co-investors in that
uh,
market, and I've got
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
newbie
Cool, cool.
investors that are like dying to be any part of any deal because they haven't done a deal yet. So it's really easy for me to get photos, especially in the um, Atlanta, or not Atlanta, but the entire Georgia market basically is full of
Yeah, yeah,
people on my
yeah,
team.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool. All right. Yeah.
So here's the other
All
thing.
right,
I
good,
talk to
good
a
deal.
lot of people, and it takes me a long time to put paperwork together. So if there's a deal, I'd rather run numbers verbally, and if we're close and we can agree on
Yeah,
something
go ahead.
verbally, then I'll contract it. But
Okay, run me the numbers here.
so one thing before I forget, one thing I definitely need to know is whether or not I can do a short-term rental because that's really going to affect my cash flow projections for my pro forma. So do you have the contact
Yeah,
info for that lady?
yeah, I do. Let me just
You
see
can send
here.
it later. It's just I'll need it
Let
at
me.
some point.
I'll put you on. I just have to put you on speaker. I'll open this laptop up. I got the email right here. Hang on.
Okay.
All right, I have her phone number too. So
Okay, great.
here. They don't like to answer the phone HOA people because they get called from too many people. Well, you know that.
People like me.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. It's usually homeowners. It's not people like you. Okay, so my best. I mean, Jones. Here she is. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. So you would actually use this because there's no Airbnbs in that area, like quite a bit. You've looked at the density of them there, and you realize you actually can take weekly rentals here for executives or others
Oh,
for a good clip,
oh
which is
yeah,
cool.
a hundred
I mean,
percent. It doesn't have to be quote
that's
unquote Airbnb. It can just be a short-term rental for me.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, she'll give you the answer on that.
Fair enough.
What
Okay. Well, that's my first major contingency is because that's gonna determine. I just have to back into my payment numbers that I can allow
Mhm.
from what my revenue is going to be. And hold on, let me pull up the link to see where my money was landing. Oh, somebody changed my info on stink. Well, that stinks. Somebody changed the address on my analysis, not realizing that it saves every time they make a change.
No, you need the address again? I mean, I
No,
can give you
I'm pasting it now. How many bedrooms was this?
the. 6.
Okay. Yeah, so
Hold on.
four to
One,
four to
two,
six
three.
bedrooms do pretty stinking good on Airbnb in general. Okay, so I've got
Mm-hmm.
an initial estimate of $8,700, but I have not gone through and knocked off the bad comps yet. So we're probably somewhere between eight, $5,000 and $9,000 a month. And basically, I
Right.
need expenses are higher for an Airbnb, but I need to back into my payments based on probably for something like this, I need about about $1,000 between my um, revenue and my payments in order to be able to buy lunch with that money while we're building equity.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can generate that kind of income out of it, it's going to paper up. No problem. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Even taking 40% out to pay a manager and so on and so forth, or 35 or whatever, that's taking out.
yeah, exactly. So, here's something else I'm doing is I've got a seller in Florida who is he's waiting for me to run out the numbers final, but he's looking at 25% equity stake in combination with seller finance. I'm like, look, I need lower seller finance numbers from you in order for this to work for me as an Airbnb because the mortgage payment's kind of high. So, oh wait, sorry, wrong deal. I need the mortgage payments to be low enough because the rental revenues, the Airbnb revenue isn't all that high, but it is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I need this to
Mm-hmm.
be like, I need to pay you like $1,100 a month on seller finance, and it's like a $350,000 property. So, I mean, that obviously it wouldn't work in most cases. I said, what if I give you 25% of the cash flow from the Airbnb as well? And that way,
Right.
because he was concerned about default, and I said, look, if we default, it'll be in the operating agreement that it becomes yours, right? If we fail to make seller finance payments for more than 30 days, then you get to kick
Right.
everybody else out of the out of the Airbnb or the LLC, and then it's back to yours.
Right.
So I,
Hmm.
I don't know how you want to handle your equity. We can either pay it out, on payments or chunks or whatever, or you can convert it to equity in the deal and still take some cash flow. It's going to be up to you. But I'm open to all those different things.
Yeah, that's cool. It's good talking to you. It's fun. You obviously know the biz. It's very, very cool. You're astute. Yeah, I probably wouldn't stick around as a minority equity partner, non-controlling.
Sure.
But yeah, that I do consider everything. Um, and
My kind of guy.
like if you look at Florida, like if you've done the research, if you call Vacasa, if you call Evolve, they have the numbers, right? And so the best yield for short-term rentals in the vacation rental market in the country are the Panhandle of Florida, primarily an area called 30A, Destin to Panama City Beach, which is surprising maybe for you. You live out in the upper Midwest, kind of or the West, but and then Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which is an area you probably don't even want to go to, but it in yields like the cap rates are still there. Um, and I don't know, so I'm just curious, just asking you, like, are you not looking in these markets that have the best yields? I mean, obviously,
No, it's
if
not.
you buy something
That's a really good
go ahead.
question. I am so. Did I give you a little intro of what I do? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
kind of.
when I do this, I'm working nationwide as a creative
Mm-hmm.
closer. So people try to make
Mm-hmm.
cash offers, and sometimes it's too low. Sometimes people get offended, and they're like, "No, f you." And so the wholesalers that are looking for deals that they can just get under contract and assign out for a quick cash exit, they will call me. I've established kind of a reputation so that they call me with these deals where it's like, "Hey, cash won't work on this one. Um, but they may be open to terms. Go ahead and give them a call." And if I close the deal, then I also get to cherry pick deals if they're going to be mine, right? So if I can find all the funding that I need, then I cherry pick it and I pay the wholesaler an assignment fee. Like that one I picked up in
Right.
September for zero out of pocket. My private lender covered 100% because I negotiated a great discount and I paid the wholesaler $7,500 and I was still zero out of
Right.
pocket. So I'm calling nationwide on opportunities wherever they arise. I check the
Right.
population in the area. I check the cash flow before I call. I mean, it's got to be a potential deal, but by the time I'm trying to weed out the definitely not deals or unmotivated sellers before they even get to me.
Right.
So no, I'm
Yeah,
not
cool.
actively shopping in those other top yield markets because I would tend to pay top price, and I'm trying to buy a house for $10,000 or less out of pocket, whether that's
Right.
whether that's
Yeah.
cherry picking a deal or assigning it or bringing on lenders or partners.
Yeah, yeah, you're looking for the best ROE for you. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
And just being opportunistic with any motivated seller, or you think it's an opportunity. Yeah, exactly. You'll take them anywhere you can find them.
Yep.
If it works. So totally makes sense. Well, listen, let me know if he comes back and says there's no short-term rentals allowed there. Obviously, that's dead.
Yep.
I gave you the address of another property that I would sell. I have 10 others down there like that that are more expensive that I would, well, that are between that price and a little higher.
Okay.
So I have a few million dollars down there that's kind of for sale for the same reasons, but it's not all for sale. Like I just want to
Sure.
diversify. I have too much in that one market.
Yeah,
It's
I see what you're
awesome.
saying.
It's an awesome market. It's a great yield, but I've got like 70% of my balance sheet in that fucking market.
Okay.
And stuff is going through hurricanes. I mean, I have insurance
Yeah.
for for an event, but
Ugh.
I
Yeah.
need to I need to, and that's all unleveraged, so it's all paid for.
Hey, what can
Probably.
you tell me what insurance rates are on a rental
Mhm.
property in Florida, including hurricane insurance,
Sure.
where that's required?
Uh, yeah. So mine are all condos, right? So the actual
Oh,
most of the insurance is embedded in the HOA fee, right? Because
okay.
the building insures the building and shit like that. So I can tell you what contents insurance is. I used to have a house there. I know like a 2,500 square foot house that's worth like $750,000. Um, walking distance to the beach, maybe 500 yards away from the beach. In that part of Florida, the annual uh, the annual insurance on would be around $6,000, right?
Okay.
And it's
Yeah,
probably maybe up
I've
from
not
that
been
now.
covering
So it's
enough
just
for hurricane insurance in my assumptions.
well, but I'm not the most up to date guy on a house, for
Yeah.
instance, to talk to you. I am. I know that. Yeah, it's a big part of it. When you're talking Florida, you got to make sure you don't. Got to put that in your numbers. Yeah, for sure. It's not. You can kind of guess what tax is, but Florida is a little bit different in insurance, and there's other parts of the country that probably are too. Like I don't know California does on her. I don't know how that works. Those aren't expensive, the earthquake policies and stuff like that.
I don't know. I
Or
don't
is
have
it?
anything. I haven't had to analyze much. There's a lot of people busy
Yeah.
in California, and not me. Not me.
Yeah. Everybody's evading California now, evading it. Well, okay, cool. I'll let you go. Give me a call back if you get interested in
Okay.
that one, or if you get interested in Florida properties if you're sitting around looking at the other one. But I'll let you go. Thanks for calling.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Yep.
Bye. Well, that was a good call. I figured I'd do the call like Wilson. Hey, Tim. Okay, so you heard my next step on this one is I got to call the HOA. Oh, I got to email the HOA. I already tried calling them earlier today. I got to email the HOA and find out whether or not they actually have short-term rental restrictions, because that's going to kill this deal. But then I can also analyze the other property that he's got and understand that he's got 10 more like it. Good stuff. Good stuff.